African football is beautiful. We kick off today's show with an interesting fact about Ghana and, of course, our trivia question. Now, Ghana has won the African Nations Cup 4 times. They won it in 1963, 1965, 1978, and 1982. And to the delight of Nigerians all across the globe, they wouldn't be given a chance to secure a 5th title, especially, well, not this time in Morocco. Let's give you the trivia question for today. The trivia question reads as follows. When was the last time Ghana missed out on the African Nations Cup? We'll be giving you the answer to that later on. SC, the banter between Nigerians and Ghanaians. Ghanaians roasted the Super Eagles for not making the World Cup all over social media. And Nigerians are laughing at Ghanaians right now that they didn't qualify for the Nations Cup.
I think South Africans are actually laughing at both of you, you know, when we look at the history the 3 nations have, but we are sitting in the middle and looking at the 2 of you and like, this is interesting, you know. But you look at Ghana, unfortunately not making it to the AFCON, but making it to the World Cup. Vice versa, Nigeria making it to the AFCON, but not the World Cup. So that conversation alone with the banter that's happening between the 2 of you, Oga, very interesting.
Well, the friendly banter definitely continues between Nigeria and Ghana. If you ask me, I think the Super Eagles are the better side. What do you guys think at home? Leave your comments in our comment section on all our social media platforms. But now let's move on to what we saw in match day 2 of the Champions League, the CAF Champions League, because that was a lot of drama. We saw 8 games, 5 draws. 3 teams managed to win. There are 2 of them that have kept their 100% record, RS Berkane and Pyramids FC.
Look, I'm still going to maintain and say this season's CAF Champions League, confederations, the 2 intercup competitions, the most difficult in my opinion, you know. And when you look at the CAF Champions League conversation, when you look at it, RS Berkane, Pyramids in Group A, what they're doing, it's sending out a strong message to say, you know what, we are going to contest here and we are going to claim what is rightfully theirs, if rightfully is the right word to use. But for me, I look at a team such as RS Berkane, you know, we've spoken about them extensively to say it's a team that knows how to project themselves into the matches. They know how to maintain the game. And you look at the game they played against Rivers United away. Yes. I think when they started off the match, they were trying to find their feet. I think also we need to give props to Rivers United, irrespective of the nonsense that they did. Excuse me for my language for saying the nonsense that they did, but if you look at what they did into that match, it begs the question to say in 7 minutes you've conceded 2 goals, but again, conceding those 2 goals is not because of all the things that were not done, but it was because of
lapses in concentration.
Exactly, lapses in concentration, but also it talks of the pressure that RS Berkane were exerting on top of them, you know. But again, Moichaban knows how to project his team. He knows what he wants to do with his team. For me, I'm asking questions around the goalkeeper also to say, you know, there's literally a few minutes left into the game. Maintain the game. Game management is very important. And RS Berkane literally showed them how to contain a match and how to maintain a match.
Okay, and Pyramids FC, it's only match day 2, SC. Is it fair to conclude that it's going to be Pyramids FC and RS Berkane making it out of Group A?
I think you should be giving me my flowers, because we've been talking about this extensively again to say, I did mention here that these are the 2 teams that are going to punch above everybody's weight to say they're going to get out of this group without a scratch. And so far, Pyramids has shown that, you know. Very interestingly enough is that the next game that the 2 teams are coming up against each other, you know. This is a reminder of what happened in the Super Cup. Pyramids beating RS Berkane 1-0. I think this would be sweet revenge for them if they can get to that position in terms of beating Pyramids, especially at this stage, you know. I think that sends out a huge message for them being here for the first time, you know, in quite some time. It literally says, you know what.
SC, here on the FA show, we're only giving you your flowers if you can accurately predict the scoreline in match day 3 between RS Berkane and Pyramids. If you get it right, we're definitely giving you your flowers.
That's going to be a difficult prediction, you know. You're putting me on the fence here, man. And these are 2 teams that are playing beautiful football. Jurisic is coaching his team very well in terms of the offensive lines. Moichaban in terms of maintaining the middle field of the park, he's maintaining the team very well. So for me to come out and say there's going to be a team that comes out and wins this, ideally I would give these 2 teams a draw.
So 1-1.
Literally 1-1.
Or a high-scoring draw, a 5-5. We see something we've never seen.
I'm stuck on the fence. When you look at how Pyramids play games, you know, with the artillery they have, it's just a powerful team for me against Pyramids, against RS Berkane.
Well, hey, 1-1 draw he predicts, and of course Fiston Mayele is going to score that one.
He was an assist in the last game they played, you know, so he might just come into this match and probably score again.
SC, you're from South Africa. We saw Mamelodi Sundowns play over the weekend, last weekend.
Yeah.
Tell me, did they impress you?
Not entirely. I think we all know that Sundowns is going to dominate in terms of possession. I think that's something that most coaches that have come into a Sundowns team know, that ideally Sundowns knows how to maintain games. And they've been playing this competition for quite some time to understand what's needed dynamically in terms of when you look at match temperament, when you look at game management and how to control games. Yeah. It's a team that knows how to do that, irrespective of the coach.
Well, it was a good point for them. It takes them to 4 points.
It's difficult for me to say it was a good point because, I mean, they came up against a coach that knows them again, you know. Rhulani Mokwena knows the players very well. They were very close too. He was very close with these players, you know. Yes, and again, he's got a new team, and we know that he details team thoroughly. He doesn't leave anything to let teams come at him.
No, let me give you some key stats from the match, because MCLJ had 8 shots. Mamelodi Sundowns 4, 2 shots on target. Mamelodi Sundowns didn't have a shot on target. Now 5 corners to 1, 6 offsides for MCLJ, 2 for Mamelodi Sundowns. Now this is where I could see that Mamelodi Sundowns had a different game plan, because in terms of fouls committed, Mamelodi Sundowns had 21.
Let me interject there. I love the fact that
MCLJ is 9.
I love the fact that you mentioned fouls. And I think this was a key thing for Rhulani Mokwena. I'm going to go back to a game that Rhulani Mokwena played against Al Hilal. He was poor in terms of box defending. He was poor in terms of width play. He comes into this game, he's fixed those mistakes. But the key thing that he didn't fix for me, I think it was his aerial prowess. In terms of those fouls that you're talking about, you look at those fouls that were happening in the final third of Mamelodi Sundowns. He could have capitalized on that and trained his team much better in terms of saying, chances are you're not going to get a lot of opportunity to score this team. But aerially and in terms of diagonal balls, you are going to score. And they didn't exploit that, because I look at Granke Ghana and Keanu Cupido. They did well in terms of what they wanted to do defensively. So for me, also you have to give props to Ronan Williams in terms of all the balls that were coming aerially. He did well in those balls. But for me, Rhulani Mokwena should have at least pushed the team to get a win. Yes. The first win would have been important for him, because Mamelodi Sundowns already has a win.
I'm sorry to cut you short there, because I'm enjoying this conversation. We're going to have to take a short break now, and when we come back, we're going to talk about my Diamonds Confederation Cup action and more on the CAF Champions League. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
We're out here at the Mzansi Bet Fan Parade to celebrate SA Sports Betting Heroes. It's a smooth who backed the boys to extend their 10-game winning streak. And Sarah, who went all in on an innings win. Yes, JP, who betted that we would slot a match-winning penalty? It doesn't matter who you are or how you bet. Together, we are Mzansi. Are you with us? Yeah!